time we've seen a pig here inside Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. We've eaten bacon. Those are different things. Team Event 5, Heat 1 coming your way. It's the Three Amigos. Alongside Annie Sakamoto, the CrossFit Masters champion. My name is Joel Gadet. Lauren Smith, our reporter down on the floor. Different kind of Three Amigos. Standings to this point. We are through through 4 events. This is our 5th. CrossFit Torian leads the way. Looking to be the first Oceania team not only to win, but also to finish on the podium. 4 points is the advantage over Raw Iron CrossFit and then CrossFit Mayhem out of Cookeville. All 3 of those teams are CrossFit Mayhem affiliates. All right, what is the Three Amigos?
Well, Joel, we have 120 synchro wall ball shots. It's 90 synchronized GHD sit-ups, 60 synchronized box jump overs, and 30 synchro dumbbell snatches, 70 pounds for the ladies, 100 pounds for the men. And it is called Three Amigos because 3 members of each team have to be working at one time. Just one member can be resting.
And the steps to success, it doesn't matter which 3, and that's the key.
Exactly, and that means that your transitions have to be clean. There's a lot of things that we're moving through and on and off of, and so you need to make sure that those transitions happen in an efficient manner. And then the work distribution, Joel. Again, 3 working, 1 not, so let's make sure not just one of us gets to have a holiday on this event. And you need to strategize that to who's stronger in other areas.
Let's go down to our 3rd amigo, Lauren Smith.
Thanks, Joel. Nothing like using an implement that we know and love, but in a totally different way. Now, this is only about 85 centimeters, much bigger than your standard box in your local affiliate. It's also just under 2 meters long. We're fitting 3 people on this. The good news is that actually it's really quite sturdy, but because the dimensions are different, it does mean that it's likely to tease teams into going out of sync just because we're just not familiar with the process of stepping over this. Rep is credited with the athletes having 2 feet on the box to keep synchro and when they all reach the other side.
Nate Bargatze would remind us that 85 centimeters is 33.5 inches to jump up on top of that pig.
Perfect.
Here is our start list for our 10 teams. 8 we expect to be out on the floor here in our opening heat. AR1, which was 16th in our last event this morning, did a good job for themselves to move up the leaderboard as they try to establish themselves in a good position should there be cuts heading into tomorrow. Again, we don't know whether or not that will be the case. We are off and going to the wall balls. 3 athletes working. A little bit of a twist to it. The target is 10 feet tall, men and women.
Yes, exactly. And that is tough for a lot of these ladies. That extra foot, if you've never thrown it, if you've ever thrown 9 and then had to throw 10, it is quite a bit different. For a lot of us, it means feet have to leave the ground to get that ball to that target.
And we'll talk a lot about cycle rates and how you pick up seconds here and there. On a wall ball, how do you go faster?
Absorbing that ball into the next squat is a good way, and this is where being a taller athlete helps because it definitely, that ball leaves your hands quicker. But, you know, on the other hand, Joel, shorter athletes, you're at the bottom of your squat a little bit quicker, and that's where some of the synchronization is going to come into play.
Yeah, the synchronization of this is the other interesting part. Not often we see 3 synchronized wall balls in a straight line. Last year at semifinals, you had to do 4 synchronized wall balls, but you were in a square, so everybody was looking at somebody else. You're in a straight shot here quite a ways away from your partner.
Right. That means that athlete in the middle has got to make sure that the athletes to the 2 sides of them are keeping tempo.
And you're synchronized at the bottom, but again, you're moving an external object here. That is kind of the master of your speed, the master of your synchronicity.
Very impressive how well these teams are doing.
We're going through 120 wall balls. Once we're done with that, we'll move on to 90 GHD sit-ups, 60 box jumps, 30 dumbbell snatches. This entire workout, this entire event is completed in synchronized movements. You're looking at CrossFit Marvel, captained by Carlos Alabadejo. He's on the far left, who will be competing later this summer at the Masters Legends CrossFit Championship, the Masters CrossFit Games. That lead is growing over the Rhino CrossFit Dogs. Rhino CrossFit out of Las Vegas had been in front. Oslo Krieger Pixel currently in fourth, 15 points off pace. The only team with a mathematical chance of potentially jumping up into the top 10 after this event.
CrossFit Marvel is leading though right now. Almost 80 reps done.
And you can see there's the switch. You pull your wall ball out of the way. CrossFit Marvel qualifying out of the Far East Throwdowns. Carlos Alabadejo, by the way, also a member of the CrossFit Seminar staff, so he is spreading the methodology as he moves around the world. And we just had a no-rep issue with synchronicity for the Rhino Dogs. You don't have to be in any particular space. Remember, the targets are all the same height across, so you can have one male in the middle, a female on each end. You can move down the line. Melina Rodriguez taking a break for AR CrossFit 1. You're looking again at the Rhino Dogs.
We've got 104 reps done already. Just under the 20 reps to go.
The CrossFit benchmark Karen is 150 wall balls for time.
Have you ever done it?
Not happily. 120 is what we're looking at right now, but you've got to be synchronized with your teammates. What's your Karen time?
What's my Karen time? 3 days. That is about my worst workout ever.
I'll give a shout out to the head coach at my affiliate, Dave Dubin, former regionals athlete, who has done heavy Karen unbroken.
How heavy?
30 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbroken. Is he tall?
He is tall.
Great job from Marvel.
Now this has to be called out by the athlete in the back, right?
Yep. So to note, you can see the ladies are allowed to use a riser or one riser if they want on their GHD. The gentlemen cannot. And this is where you're going to really need to kind of figure out who's going to rotate in onto what GHD. You don't want to be having to adjust the foot pad. So who's going to switch out? What's the setting going to be for these athletes?
And there, as we switch out, you see Min Sun Kim slide the mat underneath for Huang Bidyul in the front. Soldi Kim is the other female competitor. CrossFit Marvel is the first Korean team at the Games, finished 37th a year ago. There are the Rhino Dogs. And everybody, for the most part, is on to the GHD sit-ups. 90 synchronized reps here. And for people that have never been on a glute ham developer, what's a GHD sit-up?
Well, a GHD sit-up is going to take you through a bigger range of motion than a normal sit-up would. You can see that puts their back into a pretty big extension right there. The first time I did GHD sit-ups, I did 75 of them, not in a row. I was so sore the next day, and I had done a lot of sit-ups. I couldn't laugh, I couldn't cough, I couldn't sneeze without being in a significant amount of pain.
There was a no rep here for Rhino, and you can see Nikita Yundov was upset just a couple of seconds ago. He's now on to the GHD. If you look on the right side of your screen, there was a no rep issued. And part of the whole game at the Sport of Fitness is how do you respond to no reps, how do you respond to adversity? And there you can see Nikita Yundov upset, trying to keep the count going. You'll run into adversity at the CrossFit Games.
Yes, you will.
How do you respond to it?
Some of that could be him trying to get clarity with his judge. What are you looking for? What am I not doing?
And certainly in the heat of the moment.
It might not have come out quite that nicely.
16-minute time cap. We're coming up on the halfway point. Descending rep scheme here. You're losing 30 reps at every implement.
Yep.
So 90 GHDs, 60 box jumps, and 30 dumbbell snatches. As you like to remind members at your affiliate in a workout like this, you're already more than halfway through, even though you're still on the second of 4 movements. Do you like, Annie, the idea that you have 3 members of your team being able to rotate in, and it gives you, again, almost that community type feel? This is the type of workout you would do on a Saturday at an affiliate.
Definitely. And we always at our affiliate run partner or team workouts on Saturdays, and our community loves that that's what we do on Saturdays. You'll always work harder for a team than you ever would for yourself.
The highs are higher, the lows are certainly lower.
Definitely.
We do have confirmation as well that we are cutting to 20 teams heading into tomorrow. Originally it was 10. We are cutting to 20 teams heading into tomorrow. AR CrossFit 1, who we highlighted at the beginning, is currently in 24th. Rhino is in 25th. We've seen a lot of CrossFit Marvel 27th. So Marvel's actually in a great spot right now. They've got a lot of work to make up, but they're doing much to help themselves. 42 points at the start of the event. They actually don't have enough points out there. They would have to win this event to even have a chance. And we still have 2 more heats to go. Either way, you get a chance to throw an exclamation point at the end of your CrossFit.
Well, I was just going to say, even if they don't advance, it's always fun to win your heat, right?
Thumbs up from the judge.
They're doing a great job.
Carlos Alabadejo, U.S. Army major in the reserves, over in South Korea. Born in New Jersey to a Puerto Rican father and a South Korean mother. He moved to South Korea when his dad was originally stationed over there. He's actually lived most of his life out in Korea. The Rhino dogs hot on the tails.
Saw a little miscommunication right there. They easily fixed it, but
just past the 10-minute mark, again, the 60-minute time cap in place for this event. Less than 6 minutes remaining. A handful of teams.
Everybody except for 2 teams have moved on to these pig jump overs.
We're seeing a little more loss of communication and kind of some breakdown in the team effort here on these box jump overs.
Yep, they just saw a miss by Tiger Valley. 2 jumped, 1 did not. Now, you just have to be synchronized at the top, so you've got 2 people that just got to hang out.
Right. I'm surprised to see kind of the lack of synchronization or the struggle on synchronization here more than the wall balls. Seems to me like it'd be a little easier move to synchronize, but I think a lot of it is coming down to the communication or lack of communication between some of these team members of when members are going to switch out.
The Rhino dogs are 12 points behind CrossFit Marvel. They are 67 points out of 20th place. That's that key cut line.
That's right, Larry. That marks 60 for CrossFit Marvel down here.
Dumbbell
CrossFit
snatches
Marvel.
are next.
Keeping that lead, doing a great job. So 100-pound dumbbells for the gentlemen, 70-pound dumbbells for the ladies.
Just for a little perspective, if you're a member of a CrossFit Open workout, 50-35 is usually what you're looking at for this movement. This is 170. We have doubled the workload you would likely do in your local affiliate. These 30 reps are going to be a lot. Remember, only 3 people have to be working. Annie, how would you strategize who's doing the 3 at a time on the dumbbell in particular?
Well, since the synchronization just happens at the top. I think it really comes down to who's feeling good, who's ready to snatch this dumbbell.
You almost all are ready and just look at one another and decide who's going.
Rochambeau. That seems like an efficient way. I think, again, this is where the communication comes in. Hey,
Yep.
I can do one. I'm ready. Hey, I'm not ready. I need a break. You know, when the dumbbell is this heavy, the descent of that dumbbell is almost as hard as the ascent, getting that dumbbell up overhead, Joel. And you can see it, Marvel.
Yeah, that dumbbell has bounced away from Min Sun Kim several times. Nikita Yundov on the right, originally from Belarus, now training out of Los Angeles.
3 minutes remaining. All our teams clear of the
AR1 creeping up. Now standing next to Marvel. We have 2.5 minutes left until the cap. This started with 120 wall balls, 90 GHDs, 60 box jumps, now 30 dumbbell snatches, all synchronized.
And Rhino Dogs have just overtaken Marvel.
That's proficiency with the dumbbell.
Yep.
Tiger Valley has also caught Marvel. Those two teams are dead even. Training Think Tank has now jumped forward as well. TTT in 22nd place. Team with a very real chance. 102 points coming in. 157 is the number to catch with CrossFit Holistic. Although keep in mind, CrossFit Holistic is going to add to that total as well. So Training Think Tank's got to go. Rhino's got to go as well. A minute and a half left on the clock before the 16-minute cap.
It's good for Rhino Dogs.
5 reps in the final quadrant.
Less than 90 seconds remaining.
Lane 6 is CrossFit Tiger Valley. Lane 7 is Rhino CrossFit. And the Dogs are through. They win Heat 1. 14:46 unofficial. Tiger Valley with maybe their best performance of the game so far. 14:50. They were very good last night outside at Farrington Field as well.
They were. Sitting in 23rd place. These are much needed points.
It's the middle of the night right now in South Africa, so if you're watching back home, go to sleep. The event is done for the day. 40 more seconds. Marvel's just trying to get over the line. They were the first ones to the dumbbell snatches in the neon yellow left side of your screen. 30 seconds to go. Final rep. And CrossFit Marvel, yes, done with 19 seconds to spare. Butcher's Lab is still out there. Remember, they've been taking the 1-minute delay at the beginning of every event in memory of Lazar Jukic, and incredibly, they finish under the cap anyway.
All these teams endeavoring to keep everything synchronized in those Tres Amigos. Started with 120 wall balls. You can see that Zeus rig shaking from all that weight hitting it. It was CrossFit Marvel that took the early lead on those wall balls and got to their Glutenham developer sit-ups first. CrossFit Rhino Dogs having some trouble with some of their reps. You can see they're kind of arguing with the judge. Also happened on the GHD. Not only increased CrossFit Marvel's lead over the rest of the pack, they did great on the box jump overs. They were able to keep almost all the reps synchro, but in the end it was CrossFit Rhino that took the lead and the heat win, 14:46. And then CrossFit Tiger Valley, 1450 right behind them.